Next on the Pro Wrestling Report, is Sting on his way to WWE? Is Kurt Angle leaving TNA and returning to WWE? We answer these questions and look back at the week in professional wrestling right now, right here on My 24 Milwaukee.
This is the Pro Wrestling Report, PrimeTime TV, the longest-running pro wrestling news program in the world, with your hosts, David Hero and Damian Nelson.
Welcome, folks, to the Pro Wrestling Report, prime time Saturday night here on My 24 Milwaukee and on PWRshow.com. Damian Nelson sitting alongside David Hero.
Seriously?
Well, you bombarded and barged in and kicked Linda out. Linda's still in tears for what you did yesterday to her on Feedback Friday at PWRshow.com.
You know, she is like the wedding planner.
How much did you pay for that Kenny Bolin shirt that you wore yesterday on Feedback Friday?
I didn't. It was a gift.
Kenny Bolin didn't give anybody anything for free.
He does to me because we're so similar.
Services rendered?
No, I don't do any services like that.
Let's get to this week's big story, ladies and gentlemen. And the online wrestling world has been set on fire by a tweet sent out earlier this week by former WCW and TNA star Sting. Sting, who actually doesn't tweet very often, sent out a tweet that simply read 7/14/14.
Oh, I hate that date.
It's the anniversary for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or something.
What a
That, of course, is this Monday night. The same night that WWE airs Monday Night Raw live. So, of course, people have put the two together and have come to the conclusion that Sting will debut on Raw Monday night. While I can easily see the correlation, there is no guarantee that Sting will appear on Monday's broadcast, but what if he did? Clearly, WWE has stepped up their game lately with a very good Money in the Bank pay-per-view and an even better Raw that followed it, along with the returns of AJ Lee, Chris Jericho, and even The Miz.
Who?
The Miz. Had a great match with Chris Jericho.
Oh, the three-letter word. That's right. He's back.
Add that to the known pending returns of Brock Lesnar, Daniel Bryan, and even Batista, and you have some pretty good momentum, which could be amplified by Sting.
Well,
again, the question, though, is what would he do, who would he face, and what's the big payoff?
That's a great question, because right now the Wyatts are with Jericho, and Roman Reigns is with Orton and the Authority, and I mean, who knows? Maybe Sting comes in and goes in a program with Kane to start off. I could see that possibly happening, or maybe they're just going to announce that Sting is going to be in that, oh my gosh, that new video game.
WWE 2K15.
Yeah, I mean, God forbid they might want to promote it early. You know, besides, of course, John Cena being a 15-time world champion, coinciding with the game that comes out in October. But I can see that. But this is real similar to what they did with The Taker before they won WrestleMania, when they teased.
But WWE did it. WWE hasn't. Sting did this.
Right. Well, but Sting knows what he's doing.
He does know what he's doing, and he does know what he's doing even if he's not going to be on Raw Monday night. But here's the thing that you can do with Sting. And I still want to hear your thoughts on what the big payoff might be, because there has to be one for a 52 or 3-year-old Sting coming into WWE. Sting doesn't have to touch anybody, say anything to be impactful in WWE. Think of his time in WCW. They can go back to the rafter gimmick and just have him there. And Sting is here. Why? Who? What? To be this mysterious character, because they really don't have, Bray Wyatt would be closest, but they really don't have that dark, mysterious character anymore that they had for so long in The Undertaker.
I really think if they bring back Sting, the best way to utilize him would be to help some of these younger baby faces.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
Oh, wait a minute.
Maybe Randy Orton, Kane, Triple H are beating down Roman Reigns.
Ooh.
And Sting comes out with a baseball bat. That's all you'd have to do.
That's it.
That's it.
Go off the air. Tune in next week.
That's what I would do.
Or with this big network push, maybe they'll do it the next night on Main Event.
God, I'd hope not. You gotta do it on Raw. That's the flagship show. That's the show that makes all the money. That's what people tune in to see. But yeah, definitely, if you're gonna use it, have him help out Roman Reigns.
I'm gonna hop into Wolf Blitzer mode.
Oh boy.
Do you think Sting is going to be on WWE television Monday night? Did that tweet 7/14/14 mean that from Sting?
I think if he's not, the fans are going to groan.
Yeah.
And be
well, everybody's going to tune into Raw Monday night for Sting.
He'll be there.
And if Sting's not there, it could be the best Raw in the history of Raws.
In some capacity, he'll be there.
You say that.
Yeah.
You feel that. It's
now,
tough.
When I say some
50-50
capacity,
chance.
it could be a video vignette.
Yeah.
doesn't mean he's going to be live, because where is it?
I have no idea. Feels like California?
I don't think it's in California, but I could be wrong.
What's the big payoff if he is part of WWE storytelling? Where does it go?
It goes through WrestleMania.
And does he do that thing with that guy on the grandest stage of them all?
Or maybe, you know what? Or maybe Sting is the new GM of Raw.
Ooh, please no.
Well,
please no.
You never know.
I really don't want to hear Sting talk, ever.
Really?
I'm not sure I want to see him wrestle again, to be honest with you.
Well, nobody wants to have their last match in TNA. I'm sure Sting will
Kurt Angle recently said the same thing?
We'll
talk about that next.
I'm sure Sting will be in great shape when he's ready to be in a match in a WWE ring. And I don't expect him to have more than 3 or 4 of them from now until WrestleMania.
But that keeps it special, makes it big, and makes it an attraction.
That's what Sting is, a special attraction. He's not an everyday guy anymore.
Let's not lose sight of the fact that WWE is in panic mode right now, not because their stories are bad, their TV's bad, their ratings are down, but their overall business has suffered as a result of the WWE network. They have to do something big soon.
Well, let's not forget.
And they've got to preserve SummerSlam, because guess what? All of us that signed up for WWE Network, it expires right after or right before SummerSlam, and you have to re-sign. They need to maintain those subscribers. They need to gain the subscribers they're trying to gain with the free trial this week. They have no choice. They've got to throw some additional resources and some buzzworthy talents at us that we know and will react to right away.
The reason why they're bringing back the buzzworthy talents is because the other guys aren't ready yet. That's why they bring back the Jericho, the 3-letter word.
It's not necessarily the other guys' fault, though.
They're going to tease Sting. Yes, it is. It is their fault. A lot of good, talented, professional wrestlers, the workers, are able to take a bad gimmick and make something good out of it.
Oh, I'm not blaming gimmicks. I'm just simply saying, for the amount of time that a lot of these newer talents have been with the company, I don't think that it's fair to blame them for their lack of experience in the company.
Someone said that they're ready.
Correct.
So be ready. Be ready to go.
Well, we'd love to hear your feedback, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think Sting is on his way?
How come people can't be held accountable
To WWE on
Why blame management?
Monday's Raw? I'm not blaming management. I'm blaming the situation. By everyone's admission, including I think yours, WWE dropped the ball on introducing new talents to us several years ago.
But they did a better job lately.
They've done a better job lately, but I don't feel that WWE as a company did enough to give us new stars to accept in the last 5 years. I think that they've done a great job in the last 2 years, but it takes longer than that, I feel, to develop numerous talents that can generate buzz and interest.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you explained yourself now.
At PWR Show on Twitter, ladies and gentlemen, share the conversation, continue the conversation during the break about whether or not you think Sting is going to be in WWE come Monday night, and what, if anything, is going to happen of it. We'll be back in just a moment talking about WWE and another star who has publicly stated that he is interested in returning to the company. Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Saturday night continues after this short timeout.
Follow us on Twitter for breaking news, live wrestling chat, and pure hilarity. Head over to twitter.com/PWR Show and be part of the conversation.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Saturday night for July 12th, 2014, here on My24 Milwaukee and PWRshow.com. Damian Nelson sitting alongside David Hero, and it's time to talk about this week's WWE report. And the big question that's out there, especially after some recent news, is Kurt Angle coming back to WWE? Several websites are reporting that Kurt Angle is a lock to return to WWE when his TNA contract expires in September. This has been amplified by the fact that Angle himself has stated that he does not intend to re-sign with TNA. In fact, on this week's Ross Report podcast, Kurt Angle, who was the guest, said, and I quote, I considered staying, this of his TNA contract. They offered me a multi-year deal, but I told them I need time to think about it. I have to really think about it the next few months and see where I want to go. Now, Kurt Angle left WWE in 2006 after being granted an early release from his contract, citing health reasons. He then signed with TNA shortly after his release, which was not received well at all by WWE officials. So he was hurt. He is hurt. And he left WWE to go to TNA under suspicious circumstances.
Well,
Will Angle be returning to WWE?
Let's not forget, I mean, he threw Vince under the bus on the way out the first 6 months in TNA.
Yep. But at the same time, others have come back who have done the same, if not worse. They brought Bret Hart back. They brought Brock Lesnar back. Sable came back a couple times, and we know her reputation. They even hired Eric Bischoff. So, water under the bridge, yeah, but...
Is it over the dam? That's the, you know...
It's a good question. I think it might be with Kurt.
You know, I don't... If they can make money with Kurt Angle, then there's a chance.
Yeah.
Sable didn't have to get in the ring.
Right.
Brock Lesnar is still a beast. Eric Bischoff didn't have to get in the ring. It was his personality.
Oh, yeah.
They even brought back the Road Warriors twice.
Yeah.
So they do bring talents back if they can, but Kurt Angle is beat up.
Oh, yeah.
Unless, you know, unfortunately for Kurt, his time in TNA, there was a lot of issues. A lot of personal issues.
Remember, he went to WWE-sponsored rehab recently while still under contract to TNA.
So, and there's a lot of people in WWE that don't like Kurt Angle. So, the stars have to be aligned. Would I like to see Kurt Angle back at the Royal Rumble? Absolutely. I think that would be fantastic. Would I like to see him have his last match at WrestleMania? Of course. He's an amazing talent. But it's a business. Now, they bring Kurt Angle back. Well, then what are all you going to complain about? Oh, they bring back somebody else. He's holding somebody down. So it's a double-edged sword.
Kurt even said that if he were to come back, it would be on a part-time basis.
Well, he can't go full-time
That's what he also said. But here's the interesting thing to think about is Kurt Angle is talking a lot about going back to WWE. We spent a day with them.
While he's still under the TNA contract.
Absolutely. We spent a day with them and during WrestleMania weekend down in New Orleans, and anytime the question was asked, he's going back to WWE. This is what Kurt told people. And it seems a bit odd that if this indeed were the case, that he would be telling everyone that it's the case.
And what's even more kabuki-ish is that TNA has him on TV every week as he's saying he's leaving. You would think they would just leave him at home where he can't cause any more issues. But they also want to get their money's worth out of him.
Sure.
You know,
a bit of a double-edged sword for them as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know,
catch-22,
Kurt Angle, I'm sure, has a pretty big price tag in TNA, and that company is not making money. And, you know, to lose Sting's salary, Hogan's salary, I believe Bischoff is still under contract, but he's just at home, and then to lose Kurt Angle's salary, that helps.
Well, this one's still, the jury's still out on this one, folks, but we'll see what happens over the course of the next few months.
It wouldn't surprise me, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's not there either.
Right, yeah. We have a lot more to talk about as it pertains to World Wrestling Entertainment, and we will get to that after the break, including this past Monday's Roman is Raw, where Roman Reigns was featured as a mega star. Pro Wrestling Report Primetime continues right after this short timeout here on My24 Milwaukee and PWRshow.com.
Don't miss your chance to catch the best pro wrestling on the planet. Ring of Honor Wrestling returns to Milwaukee for Death Before Dishonor 12 at the Turner Hall Ballroom Friday, August 22nd at 7:30 p.m. with appearances by the phenomenal AJ Styles, the Young Bucks, Christopher Daniels and Frank Kazarian, ROH legends the Briscoes, the new world champ Michael Elgin, and many more. Experience body slamming, brain busting pro wrestling action live. Visit ROHWrestling.com now for tickets and info.
Back back, ladies and gentlemen, the Pro Wrestling Report, primetime Saturday night. Damian Nelson sitting alongside David Hero, and we're going to continue talking about the WWE. Big news stories kick us off this week. Sting and Kurt Angle, both rumored to be on their way back into WWE. We've enjoyed your tweets during the commercial breaks about Sting's chances and your hopes and wishes of him coming into World Wrestling Entertainment. But a lot more happened this week, including a very active and I thought a very hot start to Monday Night Raw this week with hashtag Roman is Raw. A promo, dead center, middle of the ring, with Roman Reigns talking about John Cena, the Fatal 4-Way, blah, blah, this, that. Out comes Kane. Roman Reigns presented as a huge star in that opening segment on Raw, and they made sure that we bought it. It was a hard sell, ladies and gentlemen. It was a hard sell that ended the night with John Cena and Roman Reigns face-to-face in the ring. Now, I, for a long time, have been talking about how great the endorsed Roman Reigns is. And what's so funny? What are you laughing about?
Nothing. Go ahead.
I have for a long time been talking about
or something?
how great Roman Reigns is, as he is an endorsed star, and he is going into Battleground next weekend in that Fatal 4-Way, where he will not win, by the way.
Of course not.
But he is being presented perfectly, I feel, by WWE in his building and his growth as a star.
Roman Reigns is the only one that can stop Roman Reigns right now. He is being groomed to take John Cena's spot. I will say within the next year and a half, Roman Reigns will be the top guy in the company. And they're taking it slow. He's slowly working with the right people. Mm-hmm. He's working with Randy Orton. He'll then go into a program with Triple H. You know, eventually there'll be a program with John Cena. Yeah. So he's working with the guys that have drawn money, the guys that have headlined and main event big pay-per-views, that can tell stories, that understand ring psychology, the guys that can teach Roman Reigns to become the biggest star since John Cena. And from what I understand as well, from what we've heard, Roman Reigns is a student. He is engaging. He is wanting to learn more. He's from the Samoan family. I mean, it's a wrestling family. He wants to understand the business and wants to get better. And as you said, only Roman Reigns can stop Roman Reigns. That is exactly what Roman Reigns should be doing, is engaging the veterans, talking to these people, trying to learn more, and trying to be as best he can and be as good as he can be. I'm surprised at how decent, I didn't say great, I didn't say good, how decent he is on the microphone. He speaks, I believe. Well, he does speak.
He does speak.
So why do you believe it?
And I believe.
Okay.
What
so you
he's
believe
saying.
What he says?
Yes.
So you believe he can punch somebody in the mouth?
I believe he can.
I believe he could.
I believe he can knock you out.
I do too. He's the guy, and I've said this before, when he walks into a crowded room, you're going to step aside for him.
Absolutely.
It's like having a walking billboard.
Ric Flair.
Yes.
We're going to talk about that in hot news in a minute.
I can't wait to talk about it.
Do you throw Roman Reigns with him?
Absolutely not.
All right.
Roman Reigns is a standalone guy. He's a standalone star. Anyone else that comes along can be like an albatross and can sink him.
That's this week's WWE Report, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to go to this week's hot news, though, where we bring you the top wrestling headlines from the week in around 2 minutes or even less. This first story comes to us from PWInsider.com. They're reporting that WWE Hall of Famer Ric Flair is going to be back in WWE very soon, maybe even as soon as this upcoming Monday, David Hero. Ric Flair, who the site also reports that Flair has passed all of the medical testing for WWE. And this appearance will not be a one-time appearance, and that Flair is back for the long term. Now, of course, we, PWR, have not independently confirmed that report, but it's out there. Dave, should he? You said you don't really ever want to see Flair again.
No, I do, but not as a special attraction.
Will you give it a chance?
No, I'm past it.
Phil Brooks, formerly known as WWE star CM Punk, will be appearing as a host of a red carpet, on the red carpet of a televised music award show.
How can that be? Aren't you supposed to be happy and in a good mood and cheery?
In a press release announcing the appearance,
imagine this.
Brooks said, and I quote, "Well, I'm actually stoked to get out of the house and get gussied up for the first ever Gibson Brands AP Music Awards,
Wait a minute,
fueled by
gussied
Monster
up?
Energy drink."
He's gonna wear a suit?
CM Punk said in a statement issued Wednesday. Red carpets and me don't mix.
Oh, that tuxedo hoodie. I bet they come out with one now. Like a onesie kind of thing?
So I figure it'll be a perfectly hilarious night with friends and a live microphone, my favorite. Be there and be square. The AP Music Awards will air live on AXS TV on July 21st with the red carpet event starting at 5 p.m.
Are you going to watch that to see what he does?
Absolutely not. That's it for this week's hot news, ladies and gentlemen. Let's find out who this week's Diamond of the Ring is.
This week's Robert Hack Diamond of the Ring is one of the truest and most original of super friends. Hurricane Shane Helms, believe it or not, turns 40 years old today.
40?
So,
He's over the hill?
He is now part of the exclusive 40-40 club. So
he's a Category 1 Hurricane at best.
Well, yeah, right now he is. So this week's Robert Hack Diamond of the Ring, the place where they pay cash for gold, is our super friend, Hurricane Shane Helms.
I'll support that.
Yeah, well, he's a good dude.
He is a good dude.
Yeah. His fiance is smoking hot. Have you seen her?
I have.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, David Hero, for that. And now let's go on over to Linda Kay with this week's Event Center.
Welcome to the PWR Event Center, brought to you by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. PWR is pleased to welcome Big Sexy back to Milwaukee in August for an evening with Kevin Nash. This special event will take place on Sunday, August 10th at 7 p.m. at the Miramar Theater on Oakland Avenue. Tickets are available now at blizzardbrawl.com, and all tickets include a post-show meet and greet with Big Sexy. See ROH Wrestling when they return to Turner Hall on Friday, August 22nd. Tickets are available now at rohwrestling.com. That's it for this week's Event Center presented by Gruber Law Offices.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, the insurance company may try to stop you from getting what's fair.
They better be careful. Now I've got Gruber Law Offices.
One call, that's all.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report PrimeTime Saturday night. Damian Nelson sitting alongside David Hero here on July 12th, 2014. You know, I'm going... What are you doing?
I'm just fixing something.
Did Linda leave you this poster for
yes.
Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor?
Yes.
12? Awesome.
It's going to be in Milwaukee.
Yes, in Turner Hall. We just heard that before the break.
I wasn't paying attention.
Wow, that's a shocker.
I can admit it. AJ Styles.
That's step one.
AJ Styles.
Yeah, I'm
in Milwaukee.
doing a segment here.
Oh.
Let's go to this week's TNA Impact Wrestling Report, folks. And last Thursday on Impact Wrestling, Jeff Hardy finally dropped the Willow character. That was at Kurt Angle's request. And then he went on to win the Battle Royal, David Hero.
Kurt Angle's doing great things in TNA Impact Wrestling.
And he gets a title shot against Bobby Lashley next week from New York City. Now, it's of note that Eric Young was the last person, or that he was eliminated by Hardy in that Battle Royal. Eric Young, the former TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
Good to see Jeff Hardy back. He is the ticket seller.
Well, this is smart. Let's talk about it, though.
He is the merchandise guy.
Because he performs as Jeff Hardy on those New York tapings.
Yes.
So they bridged it.
But they have
brought him back.
You know why? Because they weren't selling a whole lot of Willow merchandise. That would be like making John Cena Juan Cena and putting...
Or making Hulk Hogan Mr. America?
Yeah. Well, but that was funny.
To who?
I appreciated it.
Of course you did, because you like sick humor.
I like superheroes.
Austin Aries is the new X Division champion again. Now, this is a bit of a deja vu situation, as Austin Aries now goes to Destination X, which will be a special on Impact on July 31st. And he may cash in that X Division title for a TNA title shot.
Of course he will. Why wouldn't he?
He won it last time.
Talk about Austin Aries.
He won it last time. He's the greatest man that ever lived.
Well, Angel Armani would say different. Angel Armani thinks
that's the guy with the pie, right? Angel Armani?
He likes, yeah.
The cinnamon pie?
Cinnamon pie.
Gail Kim is still the knockout champion. She beat Angelina Love, Madison Rayne, and Brittany in a four-way. What do you think of Brittany? Her talents as a wrestler.
She's okay. She'll get there. What, do you like her?
Was that every knockout in TNA in that matchup?
ODB wasn't there. Taryn Terrell was not there.
Brooke Tessmacher. So they have a few more.
But Brooke really, she's busy with The Amazing Race right now.
She can wrestle, though, right?
Can you...
She want to wrestle?
I don't know. But let's talk about The Amazing Race.
The Amazing what?
Race.
Oh.
Not the Al Snow Amazing Race, this one. Robbie E. and Brooke Tessmacher are going to be featured on primetime television, The Amazing Race. Now, I've spent time with the two of them together. I don't know how these two are going to coexist. I mean, we know Robbie. Are
they on the same team?
He's not that smart, yes.
Bobby Lashley, David Hero.
Yes.
He's the TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
Very happy with Bobby Lashley right now.
I like the way in DWHS we're going to hear more about Bobby Lashley as well.
I like how he's being presented right now.
So you like something Impact Wrestling's doing?
I think I liked how Thursday came together. I'm going to really enjoy the next 3 weeks.
What about Magnus?
He's had a little bit of a fall, hasn't he?
Yeah, a pretty substantial one. Teaming with Bram, they got defeated by the Wolves, Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards on Impact last Thursday.
I think him and Bram will eventually be breakout as far as a tag team. They need some good heel tag teams. I think those two can do a fine job of going into a program with the Wolves, at least until Robbie and Jesse come back.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jesse's still around. Jesse and Zima are teaming up.
Yeah, I know, but it's not the same.
No.
You know?
Well, I mean, they've got such great stars as Rockstar Spud, so not much can go wrong.
Rockstar Spud.
He's endorsed, you know.
He is endorsed.
And you know, the show that brought us Rockstar Spud, British Boot Camp from TNA Impact Wrestling, is returning. They're doing a second version of that.
And one of our very good friends is going to be a big part of that. Al Snow. Part of the British Boot Camp.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Excellent. Now, that, of course, we can't watch over here. I think they actually put it up on their YouTube channel, perhaps. Does TNA Impact Wrestling. Next week, big show from New York, as we talked about Jeff Hardy, Bobby Lashley, TNA World Championship. If you care enough, you can read the results online, but I think you actually might want to watch this show.
The six-sided ring returns.
As Al Snow said last week right here on this very program, the atmosphere in New York at the Hammerstein Ballroom is one that will be remembered for a long time.
You know, Al had a lot to say on the David Hero show last week on Monday night.
Oh. Let's talk about the David Hero show. Did you have fun with that on Monday? Did you enjoy yourself?
I loved it.
You fun? You liked it?
Yeah,
it was good.
It was great. We had Linda.
Yeah.
She was a guest. We had Scotty Tuhati. Talked about body slamming Nicaraguan women.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
You know?
So it looked like you had fun. Yeah.
It was. Thank you.
Because I hope you enjoyed it, because you will never, ever be doing that ridiculous embarrassment again. Ever.
The people loved it.
Ever. They don't know what they like. I know what they like.
Come on, that was a great show. It was funny, haha.
Of course,
it was
you
ratings
think
bonanza.
a show with your name on it is a great show.
Big gold letters, my name on it.
Got a call from Stardust about that. He was wondering why you stole his gimmick.
I didn't steal his gimmick. I fine-tuned it.
That's this week's TNA Impact Wrestling report, ladies and gentlemen. Let's now go into the mind of David Hero with this week's DWHS.
Here we go. Next week, TNA Impact Wrestling will begin airing its shows taped from the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City. If you've ever wanted to give TNA a chance, or even a fourth chance, then I suggest you watch the next 3 weeks of television. The six-sided ring returns, and even though I don't think it is that big of a deal, it was the trademark of TNA. Familiar faces will return also, surprise returns, and even a few shenanigans. TNA has done a good job of reintroducing Bobby Lashley as their world champion and giving other talents a purpose. The next 3 weeks is a way for TNA to increase their market share and truly become the #2 wrestling company in the world. And with that, David Hero has spoken.
Thank you, David Hero, and thank you for tuning into the Pro Wrestling Report here on My 24 Milwaukee. I really would not have expected you to be such a Bobby Lashley fan. I'm proud of you, David Hero. You're turning the corner.
Why would I not be a Bobby Lashley fan? He's a big, jacked-up guy. He's a big wrestler. He's a real world champion.
Be sure to check us out, folks, on the shiny new PWRshow.com, where you can always see all of our shows, including our web episodes of Feedback Friday and Greatest Ever, which hit on Wednesdays.
I know what you did there, just so you know.
We'll see you again next week right here on PrimeTime Television. And in the meantime, for that one, this is Damian Nelson saying we'll see you next week for Be the Booker for WWE Battleground.